Hey, hey, shut up and ride show. Three's a crowd. Our third is not here yet, but she coming. So we just joined here, myself and John.
Hey, how's it going, world? It's a beautiful day.
Yes, it
Great to be
is.
alive.
That's
What are you
right.
working on? June the 14th? I mean, May the 14th. See how fired up I am?
We
May the
already a
14th,
month
check. Right,
from
right.
this
I'm
morning. We
skipping
done made it
shit,
a month.
boing.
He got his hat on, y'all. He wrecked.
Man, feel like new money.
Hey,
Honey?
that's a good feeling.
Yes, indeed, man.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
I know how I feel when I get some money and they ain't got, and I can keep it.
Man, come on, man.
Whew.
I ain't got shit but wet. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? You come rob
Hey,
my ass, you gonna be
hey,
practicing.
right.
And
By
risking your
mistake.
life.
See what you made me do, and you wanted just a couple dollars.
Right.
Now you got dead.
Hey, what the hell? Yeah, but
Yeah.
what's going on, y'all? Tell me something good.
Tell me something good. Tell me. Y'all know something real good. This brother here is rejuvenated. Okay.
Man, it's crazy.
He's got a massive man. You got to share with people if you want to, but I think you should. You never know who might be going through similar or giving them hope on something.
Right.
So and this show is always about some mental health.
Oh, definitely.
You know.
Well, if you insist, maybe we'll wait till the third party come and I kick it from there. In case she got something to add to it, she might want to hear this testimony herself.
Who's saying we ain't gonna go on
Because
beyond?
we all need encouragement.
Yes,
We all
motivation.
definitely need love. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And we all need our people.
You need a village.
Right. And that's part of I guess my rejuvenation is the note that a lot of love I've put out over the years is reciprocated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's right.
it's beautiful, man. I had to put out an SOS this morning. And man, it was boom.
Hey.
Didn't take 10 minutes. That's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to send back the SOS back out to let everybody know I was cool. I didn't want people to continue sending money when I didn't reach my goal. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a scam. It's just if I ask, damn it, it's just needed. It's needed. My people know that. Hopefully, but man, but it's they say a rough roll ahead, but man, I'm looking forward to it. Every bump.
Yeah.
What
you're going through that because at the end is it.
Right.
It's a rough road to give birth to a baby, but as that baby come out, listen.
Right, man, it's joy.
Hey, they're nothing but priceless.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I remember going like you having that dag, I just lost my train. I'll have to come back. Because I was so anxious to say it that I forgot it.
You had mentioned about when you get birth, everything was great.
Yeah, it came before that, but I thought I could finish that and go with the other part. But by the time I said that,
tripping yourself up, huh?
Right. I was like, dang, I forgot.
Right.
I was just gonna say it, right? So it'll come back again. But
awesome.
I guess it was in reference to it ain't anxiousness, it's just pride. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Asking.
About asking, because
right.
I remember one of the most prideful things I had maybe about it was in 2011. I had about 1,900 friends on Facebook, and I was going through a big custody battle with my ex-husband, and we had been together 20 years, 9 children. We both said that we would never take each other through that.
Right.
We know what the children would take and what it takes to raise kids, and we would just do our part. So when he took me, it was just, it was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me I can't have this or you can't have that? And all the papers that I was filling out, they were very, and I'm kind of long, so let me make it shorter. They were one-sided, but long story short, we started getting to a point where I was winning. And he then wanted to, say, hey, don't worry about it. We'll take it out of court. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want to do? What do you want me to do? He said, you don't show, I don't show, they'll dismiss it. Well, he tricked me.
Right.
He ended up showing. and I didn't.
Default.
Yeah, and they gave him custody.
Right.
Then I was in custody for a year and a battle for a year and a half. I ended up getting, but let me tell you, that road to get there, I was short some money. The lawyer got into this at Shantell. The only thing that separates you from getting your kids is an apartment.
Right.
And we go back to court. It was like 3 weeks later. And I needed to get a move from Florida to New York, have a minimum of a 3 bedroom apartment, furnished, bills paid, and affordable.
Mm-hmm.
I had $600 with me only.
What
We're
year
talking
was
about
this?
this is 2011.
Not near enough.
Baby, New freaking York State.
Right, 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 right.
Listen, so pride, would you say? I was like, well, if everybody of my Facebook friends give me just $1,
Right,
maybe, but it was like, no, no, I can't ask. I mean, I got to tell people what I'm going through,
right.
and I didn't want that because I wanted to be this big, strong person that didn't need nobody, and I can do it. Man, listen, it came down to that lawyer saying, "Is either this or you don't get your kids." I said, "Okay." I got on
Yeah.
Facebook. Um,
This
I wrote a little
655
letter, and I said, "Hey, this is A, B, and C. This is what I've been dealing with, and I know I either do somebody here, or I cook for you, or I sew for you, or I make lotions for you, I make incense, whatever it is. Either I need an IOU, or I need a payment right now, cause
Right.
or everybody send me $1, cause this is what I need." Man, let me tell you. I remember I had Lonnie, who's my last number 10. He was 2 months old. I tied him to my stomach, and I was braiding hair. I was cooking. I was doing, man, when I got custody of them kids three and a half
Right,
weeks
right.
later, dude, OMG.
Oh, use that chicken Mike Epps was talking about. So dope in the front, did have the kitchen.
Yeah, all that.
And
Yes,
sold candy.
whatever. Candy cane, Apple Jack,
Right, right.
whatever, Cracker Jacks.
Gotta get it
I'll
all
do
done.
your hair.
Right, right.
Listen,
One
it
stop
wasn't.
shop, huh? That's what's
Listen,
up.
it was because you knew, like you said, you were asking people that, and people came through. Like you
Yeah,
said, you building bridges. You've been decent person, been a nice person. And that comes back.
yeah,
And man,
yeah,
it came back because
yeah.
3 weeks I had to come up with it was about $5,800.
Yeah. I
And
had a script for Facebook. Trust me, I was going to, when I text you, like, I was going to swallow
yeah,
and do it,
yeah, I think you
But
still
yeah.
should though.
No, but the Mayo Clinic is supposed to set something up, so they say. So I'm gonna wait and see what they do. And
All
if
right, well,
you know
what's
what I'm
oh,
saying,
okay, all right.
I don't want to, I don't want
Do
people to
it
think
too
I'm out
much,
here
saturate.
hustling them. You know what I mean?
Listen,
It ain't about
the
that.
people who think you hustling ain't the people that know you.
Right, right,
So the people that know you or even know of you, that's sufficient.
right.
Because like I said, it's building bridges. You know, very so. Yeah, pride is can be very foolish, especially we're here on earth to help one another. You know, if we couldn't, then God would have gave us each our own planet.
Right.
Yeah, what you need anybody for? Hey,
Yeah, it's enough for them out there.
yeah, yeah, come on,
Enough for them out there. They want you to think it's only 9.
come
You know
on.
what I mean? They want you to
Lis-
think it's only 9, and they want you to think this is the only one
Listen,
with life on it. But
yeah,
do what you do. You know, but I suggest that we all start thinking for ourselves and go with what makes sense to
yeah. Don't
us.
don't
You
always
know,
just trust the submission what they
right?
give you.
Especially nowadays, we all know the narrative
Yeah,
is the waters are murky all over the place.
yeah,
You can't even see your damn hand once you hit the water. So how you gonna trust what's on the base? You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
hey,
Beautiful thing, man.
trying to break up out the matrix.
Right.
You know,
Move out the way.
it takes a quick stutter step, shake that shit and change your algorithm. Change your algorithm. You know.
Hey, Dika. She'll come. Turn your cup around that way they see the advertisement. Ouch. Hey, Dika. We got a
Check you
a
out. What's
7
happening,
top.
young lady? I like that.
A
That
7
hold
top.
on. Let me make
I
you
know
feel
at
like I make
7
her
o'clock.
blush. Why you
You
don't
didn't
get
come to
her
work to
rides?
what?
No, I was over for Cheyenne. She's like, I'm supposed to be over. Okay, then I changed my mind, but now I'm changing my day.
Well,
Oh,
I love the hair, young lady.
Thank you.
You know, you be styling like a mug. You know,
she can be.
yeah.
You know, she can't. When all of a sudden I get our baby at when
Oh,
I get our
you ain't
baby
gotta
at
try.
home all
All you gotta
night,
do is wash your face.
brother
Let me
John,
stop before I catch a cup.
brother John.
Let me
Yeah,
stop.
because he don't trust you, which he got every right.
No,
I'm just.
that's her and
Mm,
Sage, them a
mm.
girls. But
Okay,
the
so
rest of
I
these
thought you were
young
gonna say something
ladies,
else. I said,
the
no, no,
rest
no,
of
no.
these young ladies,
I
you
said,
know, I think
I
they
ain't no
be out to,
fireball like Sage.
you know, they be trying to bully me around here. You know, especially that new one you got.
The new one. That one.
Yeah. Oh, that was my homie right there.
The new one. The new one.
Hey,
What?
Deacon, we
That
got. I
little
mean, we
red
got a
project.
7 ton. You know what was wrong with the cooler? Not plugged in. The button.
Well,
That's it.
that'll
Well, I
be
mean,
it,
that's
though.
when the power went off. Maybe
Yeah.
Oh, this the evening crew?
It's the evening crew.
Oh,
Guy will be
okay.
in at 7.
Right on, right on.
Yeah.
What you over there
Shantell's is
smiling
up.
at, Kyle?
Hey,
I was
reflection.
telling my cousin about the young lady and what they started calling me, and I had to
How you
straighten that out. I'm like, hey, no. I say, if you say biter, cool, but don't say bandit.
It don't
You
say
know,
what?
don't say bandit. Yeah, you know, yeah, and that's a penitentiary shit. You know what I'm saying, right? No, and that ain't what I said to you. I said bite. You know what I mean?
Y'all
Let
don't even
me
want to know the subject of what
register
we were
now,
talking
please. I
about.
definitely ain't, man. But I
We,
almost had to call the police on myself, y'all. You know, lady told me her age.
hey, we not to talk about dirty old men,
Right.
you know, but young folks see dirty old men.
I ain't a dirty old
Conversation.
man, you know.
No, you ain't dirty
I,
old.
I'm a self-admitted pervert. I've
Right.
been a pervert all my life, but not a dirty pervert. You know what I'm saying? You know, but not a pedophile. You know what I mean? It's different, you know. But yeah,
Okay.
but I almost got
Y'all don't
myself in
want to
some
know.
hot water, y'all.
Almost.
A couple of months ago.
All is clear now.
Right.
She was still legal, but he ain't the
Right.
legal,
Just
not the
wait.
legal he want.
No.
Fully.
I was highly mistaken. Right,
Right.
highly mistaken.
Thought she in the bar. She at least 21, 22,
Right. You know, we from
24.
the shop, man. Ain't no way you serving no drinks at 18. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a legal age to serve a drink.
Yeah, that's in Florida. I didn't know that. You know, it ain't where you from, it's
it's
where you
different.
at.
It's
You
a
know,
different state.
it's 25. I mean, it's 21 in Chicago. Yeah.
I
But
think
yeah.
what I wanted to talk about.
Talk about gingers and being black.
Yeah.
What we have.
Hey, did you see my response? I asked you, could I speak freely on your post?
Oh yes, please do. Because I don't know why. Because when did we decide this? Because I didn't.
Oh wait, so you mean to tell me today's news we got that ginger?
Gingers are not allowed at the cookout for some reason.
They're not allowed.
They are. They're not black.
Red haired white folks are black.
They're not black. Yeah.
Okay,
Who
so
decided that?
well, I mean,
I
some melanin is darker than others. Are we saying that there's
True.
not necessarily melanin that makes us?
Now you know darn well where we're coming from.
No,
At one
hey,
point,
I
you know what
want to
I'm saying? But
explain to the people what you're saying.
here's the upside to it all.
Talk to
Is
the
that
camera
they
too.
finally is that, you know, maybe the world is finally waking up to that we all are one. You know what I'm saying?
The human race.
You know, we are the human race.
And they
You
happy
know?
about it too. They're like, yo,
Oh yeah.
since they're coming for the black girls, yo, since I'm black now, black girls come at me. I'm just like, hold on, y'all.
But
Hey, that's fun.
I
And
don't
we're all
object
evolving.
because one thing this nation needs right now is unity.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? So come
That's
on
right.
over, man.
Come on, we'll
over.
take it.
Come on over, get some of these
Hey,
cheese grits.
we'll
and
take
catfish.
Carrot Top. Come on, Carrot
No,
Top.
y'all can see Carrot Top.
No, Carrot Top funny. Oh, would you stop? Y'all, she ain't on camera, but anyway, she just.
I mean, I'm okay. I just wasn't aware. I was just like, when did this happen?
Right. I
I
woke up to this shit.
What did y'all do? That y'all was like, somebody was just like, yeah, you did.
Right.
That's it.
So the
Hilarious.
human race, some with melanated skin, some with lack thereof.
Right.
You know, lack of melanin, and here we are. Whether pigmentation of your eyes or not,
Right.
whether you have blue or white, you know, what would be the color eyes of most albino people?
I think they're green. I'm not mistaken.
If they're black albino, is it green or blue or reddish, orange,
Like
hazel light?
hazel. It'll be like a light brown. A lighter hazel.
Mm-hmm. With red
Well, I mean,
tones or
honestly, most I've seen personally is brown. I've just seen they have brown eyes. They just,
well, if they're African, if their parents are melanated, and then if their parents are not melanated, then maybe it's different.
I've always seen brown.
You know, speaking about the melanin, right? And then of albino, but my daughter brought the fact that, what's trending is gingers are the new
Black folks.
black folk. They're considered a race
Right.
of black folk versus, and we all like, hey, let's go. We all one human race,
Right.
So if we can all be that,
But the history over there in Ireland, after they chase out all the so-called snakes, you know what I'm saying? The man's St. Patrick, see his fucking snakes. Yeah, okay, snakes. But anyway, the Northern Ireland considered, so they guys, can we get a little volume down, please, 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 please. The Northern Islands consider the Southern Islands as black folks. You know what I'm saying? Because the North, I believe the North had the red hair, the South had the dark hair. I believe. I could be mistaken. Anybody out there know history a little better than me, please correct me. But I might put 50 cents on it that I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, 50?
Oh, 50
oh,
cents.
shoot, I got
But
15.
right. You cover half of it.
15.
That's a third, my bad.
Hey.
Hey. I created this math. It's
Hey.
the greatest math to ever come out of this planet. You know what I mean?
It's fake math.
Hey. It's, and what you guys are doing is fake. That's fake math. So you got to come across, listen to your leaders, and it is.
Oh, what's going on in the politics? Listen, this has been such a crazy week for me that I ain't really been. It was Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
This past Sunday, which was awesome. Yeah, it was a beautiful day. It rained a little bit.
Right.
It was good. Mother's Day every day, right?
Right.
What any political craziness
The
going on?
last hilarious shit I saw was last night. Your boy Trump is over there in Qatar, right? He's in
No,
Qatar.
I didn't know.
He's in Qatar.
Oh, about something about a plane or something, right?
All the dude got a lavish half $1 billion plane.
What?
You know what I mean? He trusts to take their plane, which could be laced with explosives. You know what I'm saying? They built it. It could be whatever.
Well, I'm sure they check.
Just like
I'm sure they check.
Yeah, okay. But when they went to hand him a drink, he didn't drink that drink. So the man ain't that damn crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he wasn't thirsty.
Oh,
you think
no.
it's something to it?
Hey, he
Are they talking
he
about
was
it?
sitting there, the crown prince sitting here. They had the crown prince a cup and they pouring to it. They brought Trump a cup. Trump held that cup for a few minutes and set that bitch down. He said, hey, I was
Did
born
they
that
comment
night, but
on
not
it, or
last
you
night.
just something you seen?
All the news was, they picked
They was
up
going
it,
in on it.
So, I get my shit from Facebook. Just kidding.
Wow.
But the shit be hilarious though, And
Wow.
and he flew in a plane full of white South Africans and gave them refugee status. At the same time, he flying out even Pookie now. Pookie and Ray Mama and them been around here for 200 years, and this bastard trying to ship them out. And at the same time, he's shipping more poor white folks in, telling them they being oppressed in South Africa and they need help. Ain't that a bitch? What about your white folks here in America?
You think
You
by
got
some
tons of
reason
poor
they're
folks
poor?
out there. That's
You
what
think-
this is his mouth. This coming out of his mouth. Him and his people. These are their words. This ain't shit I'm making up.
This is where Elon Musk is at.
These are his
country.
people. Yes, his cousins, his inbred nephews and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shoot me, damn it. Because this is bullshit. And
What you say,
now,
the inbred cousins.
now
John?
let's see if the Caucasians get just as upset as the black folks in the ghettos when they started flooding the ghettos with all them brown folks from South Africa and whatnot, and giving them all them cars and shit while we over here starving. Now he's doing it to the Caucasian population because he's bringing these South Africans in. You best believe their ass is sitting up in 5-star hotels right now today. They landed last night, slept plush. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And if
So
you ain't
why the
outraged,
reason?
man,
What are they saying? Why?
they're saying, Hey, because the brothers taking Africa back. They kicking all their asses out. They kicking all their asses out.
Well,
You know what I'm
Africa's
saying?
a big continent.
They taking their land back. They taking it one nation at a time. You still got these some bitches over there selling their people out. You know what I'm saying? You sitting up high in your mansions and shit while your millions of folks out here suffering. You know what I'm saying? Those are the plants. You know what I mean? Those are the folks. Just like the one brother. You know, I saw somebody was asking this one guy. Oh, they was asking that black general. You know, he was up before the subcommittee or whatever. You know, and there's like um how many nations have you guys really trained the militia that end up overthrowing the government? You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
what the
don't know what
question
you're
was.
talking about. Yeah, this and I'm the black general acting like he don't know what dude talking about. He said this big picture behind me. That's the African general, and you got 4 American soldiers. You know, you guys said that y'all was over there trying to train them to protect themselves, but months later, this African general overthrew the government. And now the people are poor as hell, and America is in charge.
And
This happens
which
everywhere
country?
you guys go throughout history. And the killing part about it, of course, they got a black dude going at the brothers over there in Africa. You know what I'm saying? They put a black general in charge. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no.
And
What it is with Africa, the majority is black. You rarely see.
you talking
But
98%.
greed is greed, though. You hear me?
And that's why they
Greed
tossing
don't
their
know.
asses up out of there. That's the move. Africa unite, and Africans all around the world. Let's get busy, baby. Let's get busy, damn it. Since we on the topic, y'all done got me on the wrong subject. You know what I mean?
You didn't carry it
Hey, it's
on.
time to shut this shit down. Time to shut all this racism, this hatred, this bigotry. You know what I'm saying? This one-sidedness. You know, and hey, we got shit. We probably got we probably got a million black millionaires out there. We got a bunch of individuals doing their thing. But damn it, when we gonna unite like everybody else? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do with their nipples and their pennies, but y'all, the world, every other subgroup is looking out for each other except for us. All we doing is sitting there, man. I know, man. I ain't gonna even trip. But hey, you best believe 60% of these son bitches with all that money, their families, their extended families, probably struggling like a mug. You know what I'm saying? While you sit up there bounce your chest thinking you own something, and then sooner or later, guess what? They're gonna come and knock your ass back down. Why? Because you have no protection. You know what I'm saying? Because you have no protection. Look at what they doing to our folks right now. Come on, John. You know what I'm saying? You got your boy Shannon.
John, we can get some positivity. I'm just saying, you just shooting it from the soapbox with, you know.
All right, I'm gonna step off for a second. Straighten it out. Go ahead. You be the devil's advocate.
Well, I'm just, you know, I think you're
you advocate for the devil. Advocate for the devil. Go ahead.
No, I would think because you're being negative. That would be more
negative. That's truth. Let me know when I lie.
Well, that's
Did I tell a lie?
That is your truth. But
did I tell a lie?
I don't think you lived in none of them places to see what you see. I think you're trusting the submission and going by the sound bites you hear. Ain't none of it. I think you picked up. I'm saying, well, I'm saying you going in on it, but you know I am solutions. It ain't. The
solution is for us to unite, get together, and stop the oppression. That's the solution.
Brother, on Friday we had so-called had an event that I said, hey, you bring people here. I was here Friday night. You wasn't. We said March 9th. Boom. Yeah, you wasn't here.
Yeah, because it was never reiterated. And
brother, it started with you. You the one said it.
Hold up, sister.
But you the same soapbox
as you try to put Friday. I'm not trying. That didn't take off. Didn't you have something up here?
No.
Wasn't there something going on up here Friday?
Only for what we was gonna do. That's it.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it wasn't.
Okay. I was here.
You know what I'm saying? Because leading up to Friday, I had asked a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Because you had advertised something else that was going on.
Brother, as I say, it's an initiative that
takes. As a matter of fact, Friday, when did the medical cast, or was that the week before?
That was Wednesday.
That was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, hell, Friday, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It might slip my mind because, like I said, I started getting other news. You know what I'm saying? They got me fired up and ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? But that might have slipped my mind. You know what I mean? But no, the event that we planned didn't slip my mind. It's just that I just thought that, hey,
that you
You
Yeah.
know, so like I said, I'm new to
The reason
Florida.
how we started
you and
the
your
event.
family are the only folks I know down here.
I hear you, but the reason why we started the event is because you get on your soapbox and
Right.
you go in, and
And
I
I
say,
said,
hey,
we're going to have
I
a
said, what
rally
you
here at
doing?
Shantell's at
And
9
then
o'clock.
right, and then
And
you
we put
came
the
to the
word
rally.
out.
You didn't come. You didn't come to see if anybody came.
That
So
could
you
be
know,
true. That
so
could
I'm
be true.
yeah,
But
I'm
let me
so
tell
that's
you
why
this.
I'm
Who
saying
came?
come back
Who
over
came?
here.
Who came?
I was here.
You was here.
Yeah,
Right? And we can
I
rap
was
all
sitting
day.
out there.
We don't need a special summit for you and I to rap and try to
No,
get our
but
brains
it ain't.
together.
It's got to be bigger
You know
than
what I'm
me
saying?
and you,
Exactly. And
or
this is what I'm
solutions.
saying. Exactly.
But I'm saying when you get on here with the
Well, tell me some solutions. Let's roll with some
no,
solutions.
I'm not the one on the soapbox. I'm not
Tell
the
me some
one
solutions.
telling
I
all the
gave you my
issues.
solutions.
And
My
what
solution is for black folks to start loving each
and,
other unconditionally like everyone else.
and what are you
Every other
doing in
marginal
terms of
group,
that?
huh?
My question was then, and where is
What
your
do you
part? What
want me
did
to
you do?
go around
But
hugging
not me.
everyone? You know
Not
what I'm saying?
me. Your part.
But I'm doing my part. This is the only shit I can do. This is all I got access to is this bullshit internet. You know what I'm saying?
But
And you know what I'm
and you're
saying? Who's gonna
insulting to
hear?
it, and it, you know. But
You
I'm
see, this is what I'm
saying,
saying. You know what I
what
mean?
are you
Hey,
saying? But
hey. I'm speaking. I'm speaking
you're
freely.
speaking your
You know what I'm saying? I'm
opinion,
speaking
but
clearly.
just like you
You
would
know what I'm
say,
saying?
somebody had
It's
it.
like I say, you might not like what I say and how I say it, but let me know when I'm lying. Let me know when I'm lying.
I'm saying you don't have a to talk about it is to not have a solution for it or even not
I
be
give it
doing.
some solutions. They might not be the solutions you want to hear.
I
You know
didn't
what I'm
ever. I
saying? But
didn't
I
hear
gave a
one.
few. You
What?
didn't hear nothing about us coming together.
Well,
You
coming
know what I'm
together
saying? You didn't hear nothing
is
about us. You know what
coming
I'm saying?
together is a
Starting to love
vague
each other.
description.
This ain't something that a million folks got to come to Chantel to do. You know what I'm saying?
But
You start this shit right there with you. You know what I
right.
mean?
Well, that's
We
why I
don't need a
said with
million folks
you,
coming to Sanford, Florida to hear us for us to start loving each other.
Brother
You know what I'm
John.
saying?
You
Get the
are the
message.
one.
Get the
You
message.
the one
You know?
talking about all the bad and what it's going to take. But then when I say, "Hey, what is your start in it?" and then you back
There
down,
it is,
and you
right
said,
here.
"I'm the
When
devil's
did I back
advocate,"
down? When
or
did I
if what
back?
I'm gonna say is the devil, like I'm in disagreement. No,
Shantell,
listen, I've
when did I
heard you.
backpedal?
Because what I'm saying, you wouldn't even show up at it last time you got on your soapbox. You didn't show up. So I'm like, yeah, I hear you talking like I hear anybody else talking, and they give a vague description as a solution, but they are not the solution. They ain't doing boots on the ground. They ain't gotta out there doing it. Talking about it don't solve it. That's what all I'm saying. And I'm not the person who up
Hey,
here
all right, cool.
talking about it.
All right, cool. I'm talking about it, damn it, because I'm tired of seeing it. You know what I'm saying? We had a little
But
brother, you know what I'm saying? We had a little brother get gunned down the other week. You know what I'm saying? Gunned down. These some bitches say that he pointed shit. He ain't no way that little brother turned. He was running. You know what I'm saying? They gunned that little brother down. They showed that boy's daddy the video and expected for him to just go on like life wasn't shit. That brother got his ass behind that wheel, and the first motherfucking cop he saw took care of it. And that's the shit I'm talking about. We got to stop this shit. We got to stop it because it can happen to any of y'all children, any of them, at any given damn time. You keep fooling yourself saying it don't, but best believe a fucking bully. One thing I knew coming up and I always knew I love fucking kicking bullies' asses because they do not like getting hit back. You know what I'm saying? You hit a son bitch back, guess what? His ass gonna take off running, and he ain't coming
Everybody's
back.
a bully
You know
until
what
they
I'm
meet a
saying?
bully.
Stop letting yourself get pushed around, murdered, letting your babies get murdered without these bastards suffering the consequences. You know, because you're looking for the justice system to do it, your ass might as well just get some binoculars and keep looking, because it ain't gonna happen. This is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
John,
Hey,
but you're not saying nothing different than being the news.
no,
Because if that's what you learned
news do
from the
you watch
news,
that
well,
what
that's
news
the
are you
news.
watching that's encouraging black folks to stand up for themselves?
I'm saying
What channel? Because I
I'm
need to see that
saying
channel. I don't know
no.
it.
I'm
I
saying
haven't seen it.
what
Sis.
I'm saying. What you're saying is you're giving information in terms just like news, right? Based on the news, you're giving the information, but you got no real solution. You can
So
say black
Shantell,
folks
since
stick
my
together.
solutions ain't real,
It,
what are yours? Come on with it,
I
sis.
didn't. I'm not
Come
the
on with
one
it. But help me
complaining.
out. Help
But
me
I'm not
out.
the one
Oh, so you
complaining.
cool with everything that's going
No,
on?
I'm
You
saying
cool with
I'm
it? You
doing.
have no qualms with what's happening in this world right now.
Are you
Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, come on, help me out, brother. Your brother is struggling. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get other folks to come and help other folks. You saying what I'm
Okay,
saying
well, how
ain't
are you
real.
going to go about
You saying
that?
what I'm saying ain't real.
No,
Give me
that's not
something
what I
real,
said.
sister.
That's
Give me
not what I
something real.
said.
You keep
You
shooting it
implying
down. You keep
no.
shooting it down
I'm
that
not
I never
shooting
gave
it
no
down.
solutions. You know what I'm saying? You saying I don't have any
If
solutions. I have no ideas about how to stop this shit when I'm steady speaking on my ideas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the brightest
first of
motherfucker in the
all,
world. I'm
first
not
of
the
all,
smartest
I'm
man in the
not.
world.
If you
You
can
know,
be
but if you
quiet
got
for a
something
minute,
better than me, we've been doing this, Shantell. But all you telling me is that I'm
you're
not saying
saying
shit.
what
You
you're
know?
saying. Let me go by what you said. You said I'm saying what you said was wrong. I didn't say what you were saying is wrong, not one time. Only thing I said was
You
I hear you
crying, you're
complaining.
crying and
If
complaining, and
you
where's
won't
your
even let me
solutions?
talk for 10 seconds without being interrupted.
Okay, I'm shutting up.
You know, it's
My
like you
apologies,
afraid
love.
to
I
say,
love you. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
look, love
sister.
shit. What love
Carmen,
got to
don't
do with
shoot
it?
me. Don't shoot me, dog. I had to give her a hug.
Listen, I'm saying is to complain is to
So
not
you
solve
calling
it.
it complaining?
Well,
That's what
because that's
pisses
all.
me off. It's not complaining.
Okay, well
It's
then
speaking on real shit. You know, if it's good, you know what I'm saying? That shit there is
again,
dismissive,
cut off
Shantell.
again.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's dismissive.
Because you
It's
won't let me
dismissive.
talk.
Okay. I'm gonna try one more time. Do your thing, sis.
I say again, what you're doing is news. You're talking about what you heard from the news. I'm saying solutions. To complain about it or to even talk about it and not give an adequate solution of what you can do. And if you can't do, maybe what you talk about what you can do. But other than that, it's just a lot of noise, a lot of vague descriptions about, oh, we got to stick together. And probably to hear everybody's immune to that. And to hear, oh, we got to stick together, oh, we got to come together. Boy, it's like nobody's moving. It's like being, it's like saying, good morning. After a while, you're in the club, you say good morning, good morning. It's just a good morning. Nobody really care about you concerned, what you're doing, how are you feeling. No, it's just something said. It's not nothing done. And so when I'm asked, it's not that I disagree with you. My thing is, okay, what are we doing? And then every time you say, I disagree with you, I didn't say anything about me disagreeing with you. I'm just saying,
That I'm talking loud and saying nothing. That's what you're saying.
right. Because we,
And that's not
these are not that it don't happen. Yeah. Things like that happen every day. Ain't nothing new under the sun. But there's something we can do about certain things. And that's why I'm saying, okay, well, let's where we at on it.
Well, let me say this, sis. You know, I don't want to be disrespectful or insulted, but you sound like some folks that I knew that you know to just sit back and say, well, you know, God will take care of it.
Well,
God will take care of
you
it.
already
You
know
what
I'm
saying?
not
Y'all
that
just sit-
person.
but this is what you
I've done
sounding
more
like.
shit than
This is
most
what you
people.
sounding like, though. You
But
know what I'm saying?
I know
Let's
I've
sit
done
back,
more than
be
you.
quiet. Let's sit back and be
I've
quiet
done
and
more
don't
than
make
you.
no
So how can you
noise.
make that establishment if I've
Because
done
this
more
is
than
what
you?
you're saying. You're
What you
basically
saying and
I'm,
what you doing is two different things, is what I'm saying.
So
So
I'm
I'm saying,
asking you.
shut up talking and start walking. If you can't, shut up. Because otherwise, it's like
So
dead air.
if what I'm saying is ineffective, give me some idea. This is what I'm telling you.
I ain't complaining about it. I ain't talking
Okay,
about
so
it.
you're
I'm
okay.
doing about it.
So what are you doing? What are you doing? What
I'm
are
out
you
there
doing?
boots
Tell
on
me.
the ground, and I done figure
What
out
is
a way to
boots
get
on the
paid
ground?
for it.
You getting paid, but what about the people? This is what I'm saying.
When I
We
say,
got 100 millionaires out
but
there.
guess what I had to do?
But 98%
I had
of
to get
black
out
folks
there
are
and do it.
fucked up. Yeah, but this is
No,
what I'm
not
saying.
98%.
And,
You ain't been
people
nowhere.
are talking.
If that's what
I
you
ain't been
think.
nowhere.
If you think 98% of black folks is fucked up, you ain't been nowhere.
Yeah, okay.
You've been,
Okay.
yeah. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm, and anybody who been somewhere know that.
Shantell, for every 100 folks you know that might own a home, there's a million of them that ain't got shit. What you talking about?
Well, then that million ain't doing
and it's
shit.
their fault. And it's their fault.
Listen.
In a damn system and in a country
America,
they'll
the
let a
world is
fruit
bigger
fall
than
through the
America.
crack. They let well, how the fuck they gonna get to the rail, Shantell, when they can't get off a block?
Listen.
Come on, man.
You ain't went on the next block and see some poor people back
y'all.
there.
Let's go to the next. Man, I
But
done been Mississippi, Oklahoma. This, you know what I'm saying?
But that ain't nowhere.
I haven't been in all 48 states like you.
That
But
still
I
ain't
ain't gotta see
nowhere.
all 48 states.
That
You know what I'm
still ain't
saying?
nowhere. What you
Come on,
mentioned,
man.
if you think
Okay.
98% of black folks
I
is
haven't
poor.
been outside America except for Canada.
I'm
You know
talking
what I'm
about
saying?
in
Just because
one
I haven't
state.
been around the globe.
I'm just talking
You know
about
what I'm
in
saying?
one
Don't mean I
state.
don't know what the fuck I'm talking
It ain't
about.
even 98% of black folk in Florida poor. It ain't
Okay.
even that.
Okay. Shit, I
One
can't
state.
tell from what I'm looking at.
Then you ain't went
I
nowhere.
can't tell. Man,
You
come
need to
on.
get out of what you look
I
at.
done Ubered up and down throughout this state.
You
I
think
done,
this about an Uber?
I done came to the
Okay.
conclusion that there's more black
Okay.
folks than I ever thought was in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Because of the towns I drove through, and all I see is black folks. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of niggas in Florida. You know what I'm saying? But once again, there's a million black folks, but who's running it? Who's running it? People talking about generational curses and shit. What
Hey,
about
Cindy.
generational racism? What about generational
That's
oppression?
been. That's
You know,
been.
but so just
That's
because
been.
it's been, should that mean that we should just get caught
That's
up on
not
it?
what I said.
You know what I'm saying? Let's
That's not what
overthrow
I
this
said.
shit. I'm saying what this is gonna be my bottom line. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm glad that these racist son bitches are doing what they doing because this shit is about to fold. You know what I'm saying? It's about to fold. And then hey, we
I
can
think you
reset.
put way more
Every
energy.
society had to go into a reset, and America and these devils has been busy for far too long. Go ahead,
You have portobello mushroom? We have portobello mushroom. No.
No portobello mushroom. That's a good change of pace. I like mushroom pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Podcast?
Come on, put your face on the camera, little Sage.
Then bless y'all screens real
That's my
quick.
little homie, same birthday, everything. September 27th. Aren't we beautiful?
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean,
That's my girl there.
well, what you gotta say? One of y'all. Of course.
Hey,
she's
Cindy
going-
Fenty.
She
How
a
you doing,
cancer.
love? Good to see you, baby.
My hair's
Finally
wet.
made it, finally
Your hair's
made it.
wet?
That's right.
Oh no, I think we gotta go back to the
All right,
corner.
let's go.
I thought we was gonna do it here.
Yes, we should. Yeah, but man, hey. Me and your girl been going at it.
I ain't been going at it. He been just.
What are we talking
he-
about?
Hold on
about-
one second. Let's get a third opinion.
It's if
Sadika, what
it's-
have you been in?
A whole bunch of arguments.
Okay, so
about no solutions and all talk.
what are we talking about? That's what's
We
solution of what?
Solutions to all his grievances of the world.
Are you angry at the world, John?
no. What I said was this here.
Thank you, Dika.
So it's one thing in having a passionate delivery.
Oh, is that passion?
About it. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Because what I was saying is, said first we got to talking about on this orange bastard in chief. You know what I'm saying? And how he's taking
At the same time, talking about how we should stick together.
How are we gonna stick? See, this is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You want to crawl in bed and make love with the oppressor? No,
Okay,
ma'am.
how you
No,
figure
ma'am, it's
this?
not
Because
gonna
I
happen.
said
You know, see,
love.
because I
You
can't
think
think-
I want to sleep?
Why should
You see
I?
how that in turn? You see how
Once
that's
again,
you're gaslighting.
Once again, why should I
So
speak
2025 word.
comfortably and try to make some sniveling ass racist?
Trump ain't did shit
feel
to disturb
comfortable.
you.
He ain't
Nothing.
did
So
nothing
why
to
you
disturb
talking
me.
about it? Trump ain't did nothing to affect your day to day.
All right,
Mine either.
all right.
Oh,
So
we get on
just be
politics.
cool with it. Let it go.
No, I'm saying
Just let it
he
go.
ain't did nothing to affect your day to day.
Yeah, okay.
So
You
what
see-
you telling
You
me
see, this
is
what
all
I'm
what
saying is
TV
the
say.
problem. This is what I'm saying is the problem with black folks. We're all individuals. We're all individuals.
So then that's the problem with every
We're
human.
all no.
Yeah,
No,
because
no,
we
it's
all
not-
individuals.
Everyone is.
Right, an
No,
individual.
I'm talking about as
Right.
far as
It's not
individual
a
and not
black
helping
thing.
each other and not assisting each other. You
The
know what
only
I'm
way I
saying?
did this is through a village and support. I went independent in
Shantell,
this at
that's
all.
beautiful. That's
And
you.
it's the only way you got
That's
here
you.
because it was a village. You are not independent in your support either.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about the babies out there that's about
But
to-
I'm saying do
I'm
something
talking
about right
the
now.
millions of black
About
babies
who
right
you
now
can do
that are
something
hungry.
about.
I'm talking about the millions of black babies
But
that
you
are being
can't feed a million.
systematically abused.
But
know
you
what I'm saying?
can't
I'm talking
feed a
about the
million.
millions of black babies that are systematically being neglected, murdered every day. You know
But
what I'm
you
saying?
can't do
But
nothing
I'm
about
supposed
that
to be
for
cool
yourself.
because
But
John is okay. You know what I'm saying? John is okay.
John ain't gotta be
John
okay
ain't
with
being
it.
oppressed. John ain't being abused. So John shouldn't say shit about it. Oh, that's because I had a cup. Here you go, sweetie.
He wastes lemonade.
Yeah,
Really, lemonade?
I drew. That was
Man,
drool.
that's the key.
That was drool when I saw you coming.
Oh man,
That's what that is. You know, don't blame me. Blame yourself.
John,
Oh, okay. Let's keep it PG. I'm cool. But hey, what I was telling her, earlier in Cobb, man, I feel so damn great. You know what I mean, man? Man, it's freaking ridiculous. And I can't get your face on there, but people need to see my girl. There she go, Sandy Sunshine, Shantell, the sword slicer. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I love it. I love
as
it.
I say,
and I know y'all
cutting
love
through
it.
the-
And I know
cutting
y'all
through
love
the
it.
fat.
And I know y'all love
Cutting
it.
through
Right,
the
right,
fat.
right. But hey, y'all, the only way something gonna happen is if we start talking. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Okay,
and we
so
talking.
I listen, babies. We have to protect the babies and take care of the babies because they are the future,
Right.
right? So millions of babies that are starving. Like, how? What do you think are some ideas that maybe we can help? I mean, if you're really
I mean,
passionate about it,
there's
but
food drives. Trust me,
valid.
swear, I've been in Arkansas, and I've been part of food drives. You know, so I didn't help deliver food to thousands of folks. I done barbecued for hundreds of folks. You know what I'm saying? To try to get political movement going. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me what I haven't
Well,
done.
sometimes
Ain't
You know what I'm
nobody
saying?
told you what you
don't
haven't
know,
done.
just because
Ain't
you don't
nobody
know
told
it,
you
don't
what
mean
you
it hadn't
haven't
taken
done.
place.
I
But you
said,
saying
what
I
are
ain't been
you
nowhere.
doing?
What you said,
Doing is a
Shantell.
present word.
What you
Now,
said, Shantell.
shut up complaining and do it.
But
That's
what
all
you
I'm
said,
saying. And you
Shantell,
saying I'm
is what
negative.
have you ever done?
No, what are you doing is my. I
I'm
never
speaking
say.
on it again.
Wait. How
I'm
about this?
speaking on it. You
How
know what
about
I'm
this?
saying? I'm
Here's what I
speaking on
think.
it.
Here's my opinion. I'm sure you made a lot of strong efforts to do what you did, right, for the cause. However, sometimes you can't do it alone.
You can't never do it
You
alone.
can't. You can't.
Thank
Never
you.
do it alone.
We have to do it.
Can
It
you
has
shake
to
my
be a
hand on
collective
that? This
effort.
is what I'm
He
saying.
didn't even
It really
show
does.
up at the
Saying.
come together.
But-
He playing.
But maybe sometimes it's more than just citizens. Sometimes it's corporations that might need to get involved.
Write an email.
I mean, it takes
Research. It takes work. It can't take just mouth.
well. It's. I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
it's. We're really worried about the future here.
If you're
for our
worried about it,
children.
you can do something. But don't worry
Mhm.
stops you. Be concerned about it and do something. Worrying don't never do nothing.
Yeah. So forward action.
That's it.
Hey, you're already affiliated with Harley.
Yes. Listen,
could
I
do a
remember
Feed the
when I
Babies
went
drive,
around
drive or
48
something.
states in 2020. We fed over 1 million people while I did it.
Oh, so
You
what
know?
you did in 2020 is still relevant. But
No,
what I
it's
did
not
in 2020
relevant.
isn't irrelevant.
It's not that.
You know what I'm saying? It's irrelevant. That's what you just said.
Again,
You know what I'm
gaslighting.
saying? You brought
Again,
yours up, but you shot
gaslighting.
what I did
Oh, so
down
you
in
didn't bring
2020.
yours up? It's the only reason I brought
This is
mine
what
up.
I'm saying. You know what I'm
The
saying?
only reason I
But
brought
you
mine
said,
up.
what about today?
Oh,
So I'm asking
I
you,
did
what
some-
about today?
I
Not no
did
boots
something
on the
just
ground,
yesterday.
Not no damn
I
fad.
cooked for 75 people at the rescue mission just yesterday.
Beautiful.
So
This is
again,
what
that
I'm
was
talking
yesterday.
About. Feeding our
But
people.
but I'm saying, what are you doing? You're talking about it, but you ain't doing it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Any little one person
Okay.
can do one. Even if you had extra rice, you could have balled it up, whatever, brought it down to the rescue mission.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to hear it and not
Okay.
have action, it's like, why I gotta hear that?
Right,
Because I'm
right.
hearing it all the time.
No,
And I
think
just-
you
And
do
then
more than
guess
boiled up
you
rice.
won't hear it from me no more, sis. You know what I'm saying? Since you
Because
tired of
you
hearing
think
it, you know what
no,
I'm saying?
it
Since
ain't
you
that I'm
tired of hearing
tired.
it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you like this: John McKay would never ever make a racist son of a bitch or ignorant asshole feel comfortable when you talking to me about that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
But who's here
It
racist?
ain't gonna happen. We're
When
talking
did this
about
happen?
society ills.
I don't
I'm
know.
talking
But
about
when did
society
this
ills.
happen?
It didn't happen.
You know
It
what I'm
did.
saying?
Me talking about
What
it.
was I talking about last week? When she kept talking about, well, you should accept this. If someone come to you with this, you should do that. Well, both of y'all was.
I said love
And
is
I told,
acceptance.
you know,
It ain't approval. They don't need your
love
approval.
to get your ass murdered in America.
No, you talking about
Love
love,
get your
falling
ass-
in love.
Look at King. Look at Malcolm. Look at Evers. Look at man. Come on, all the way down
think
back
that's
to the
love?
1600s.
That's not
Them
love.
brothers was loving, and guess what they
That
did?
wasn't love,
They hung
sweetie.
their ass up, burned
Hate-
their asses, and ate them.
Hate did
That
that,
is-
not love.
I'm talking about they was living in love, sweetheart.
No, hate did that.
So
Not
Malcolm X
love.
was full of hate, and that's what got them killed. That's what you saying?
I'm saying hate killed them, not
No
love.
shit. This is we Shantell. I don't know if you're hearing me, baby. I don't know if I'm speaking Japanese or what. But that's the same shit I just said. I just didn't say it the way you said it.
I
You
don't,
know what I'm saying? I said hate killed Malcolm them because they was
You said
about
love.
love. No, yeah, their love got them murdered. Their love for their people got them murdered.
Okay.
Their love and their action for their people got them murdered.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
And guess what? And they still made a move in doing things and making things better.
Them and
We all know we gonna die,
them
and they
hundreds of
know the
unheard,
consequences.
them and hundreds of
They know
unheard
the
individuals.
consequences, and they signed up for it, and they
Yeah.
all right with that.
Yeah.
And they were getting out there doing whatever they had to do, however they had to do it, and so that's what it takes. So what you saying? You ain't saying. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying again, what is the action that you're doing versus talking
Okay.
about it? Because we hear that all day, every day.
Once again, this would be our probably our.
So you're saying, oh, come together.
This would be probably our.
We got
dozen
songs
times,
about that.
you
We
know.
got every rap song about the coming together.
So
We got
okay,
We Are the
Shantell,
World.
This is what I'm asking. This is
Farm
what I'm
But
asking you
again,
one
you
more
would
time.
contribution.
This is
would
what I'm
contrib-
asking you for the dozen times. Since
You
you
asked
saying
me for
what I'm
something.
saying and what I'm doing ain't shit, ain't
I
effective.
didn't say what you ain't doing.
Give me some ideas. Let me
I'm
know.
not the one.
What do you suggest? Since what I'm saying as far as talking about it, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause
You can start off
like
small,
I say,
John.
This is small. This ain't small.
No, talking about it
Ain't shit.
Right.
Ain't shit.
Ain't shit.
Okay.
It ain't.
Okay. So how do you communicate if you don't talk, Shantell?
You who you talking to?
Talking to the fucking world. We got the internet out there. What you talking about?
But
Why are we
again,
so aggressive today?
Because it's ridiculous what she's asking me. It's freaking absurd. It's just like talking to one of them assholes that are just cognitive dissonant.
Oh my
You know what I'm
goodness.
saying? That I'm notified
because he ain't did
but
shit.
they
I'm
want
an
me to think
asshole.
something else.
What happened off camera that
You
I don't know
what I'm
about?
saying? Nothing.
This is
Trust
him.
me. This is
When
us.
he look back
This
at
is
it,
us. This is what's
when he
gonna
look
make
back
us
at
us.
it,
This is
he'll
what make
see.
us us. You know what I'm saying? And I watch every show. You know, I be calling
his
y'all at
opinion
night.
is just
Man,
like the
did y'all hear
asshole he
us?
called me. He got one too.
I be calling
It's
y'all
full
at
of
night. I be
shit,
like,
though.
man, did y'all watch that show? We some crazy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But hey, well, Cindy ain't. Cindy.
Listen.
Cindy thinks she's
Yeah.
better than everybody.
No, she don't think she better than anybody.
No, I'm just
Of
teasing
course
her
I think
about
I'm better than
motherfuckers.
everybody.
Right. Oh, that's
Hey,
just a shot.
now we know we are.
Right. Come on, man.
No, but
We are three beautiful individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
At
that's
least
what's
two.
gonna make us what we are. Yeah, you're right. I'm handsome. I'm not beautiful. You're right. You
beautiful
ladies are
is
gorgeous.
unisex.
Is it?
Yes, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty's not
I
unisex,
think
but beautiful
beauty
is.
is in your personality, like who you are, how you treat
Yeah.
people.
Beauty.
You know,
Yeah,
That's
beautiful,
where the beauty
beauty.
is.
It's unisex, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not, but pretty is female. You say a man pretty, then yeah.
There's some pretty boys.
yeah, but that's feminine,
That's right.
right?
I ain't gonna even get started.
You can say beautiful. He's a beautiful man.
But not
Yes.
pretty.
Yeah,
Pretty is feminine.
pretty's feminine.
Right.
Hey,
right,
and
right,
Muhammad
right.
Ali said
Hey,
he,
my man,
and that's
Kyle.
Muhammad Ali.
Quite a
Muhammad
man.
Ali can do that.
And guess what? They murdered his ass too. They murdered him too.
Man, he know what
They
he signed
murdered him
up
too.
for. He was killing himself
Exactly.
every time he got in the ring.
Yeah.
He know what he signed
Yeah.
up for.
But
And
being
he
in the
did-
ring ain't
and
what
he-
killed him.
And he
Being in the
did.
ring ain't what sent Muhammad Ali into the journey he had to take.
And again,
on
and
his
he
way
was out there doing
you
it,
know,
doing whatever he needed to do.
because he
And
had
no,
a wide
he didn't
audience.
just talk
This is my audience right here. My only audience, and so far,
Well,
I
this
got
ain't
one
enough
on my
work for you.
phone. You got one on your phone.
Listen,
you know what
this
I'm saying?
ain't enough work for you to do.
But
this,
but right now today, trust me, sweetheart. Once I finish this journey that I just was set upon as of Friday,
It don't take
you know
nothing
what
to
I'm
write an
saying?
email.
That's probably why I missed that meeting.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Because I started getting that news and conversations Friday. You know what I'm saying? And then Monday, damn it, man, it was like magic.
But don't
you
talk
know,
about it on Wednesday.
it's
till
like
you have
magic.
your another
But
one
did.
planned.
Say what?
Hey, John, I like your hat.
Thank you, dear. Man, I just figured I'd come out different.
It's
You know what I'm
very
saying?
fashion forward.
Thank
I
you,
like
love.
it.
Thank you. You know, but hey,
Can I
man,
borrow?
you can borrow whatever.
Wait.
You can have it.
Was your head sweaty?
Yeah.
Can't you see?
Yeah. It's like,
Oh,
Look at you.
yeah, right.
Look at you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, dry it off.
Is that vinyl or straw?
Is that velvet? They retarded,
Oh,
child. And they the reason why I act like this.
Oh, we the reason.
I came down to Florida. I was a damn choir boy.
Shh.
Ex anybody up north.
Imagine
You
how
know
many
what I'm
times
saying?
he don't curse before us.
Only when I'm not sleeping. But when I'm sleeping.
Had me
Should
curse.
I say?
John, I want
See
this
that
hat.
hat look
Can I have
like
this
you.
hat,
Sure
please?
you can, sweetie. You can have it.
Really?
My gift to you.
Are
Love.
you serious?
Yes, indeed. You ladies have blessed me so
Oh.
much since I met you. You know, oh no, you can ask me for whatever. Baby, I'm
Oh, you're the
yours.
best.
Pinch him.
Don't let Charlie see that because he gonna get on me. He gonna,
Ha! The hat that y'all had.
no,
Oh,
no.
oh, you wanted
I
it.
ain't gonna tell y'all about Charlie right now.
All right.
Because Charlie think I'm dragging. Like I
Yeah, me
told him,
too. I'm with you, Charlie.
I'm disrespecting the process.
I'm with you.
Oh, right. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. She got quiet over
Listen, cause listen. I'm trying to digress. You know,
but it's all good, man.
but
It's
I
all
will
love.
say I wasn't disagreeing with you
Uh-huh.
at all in anything that you said. That wasn't my to say yeah you're right or yeah you're wrong. It was to say hey I hear you, but in order to talk about it is no different from those who are doing it. Unless we can do something about it, we can counter it by just being that effective person. Even if we are talking to it, and this is our only outlet, this is here is easy. It's like kind of buying toilet paper because someone said we go out and buy toilet paper. That's the easy route. So I'm saying it's got to be more, and it will to some extent relax that passion because you're out there doing or even being
Right.
this some of the solutions that can solve or help. That's and I'm saying every one person is a solution in that. It can come as a group or it can come as one. It happens much slower, but again, it is.
Right.
That's all
Right.
I'm saying is you know
Understood.
that was my. I wasn't disagreeing with anything you said.
I love you.
Fuck you.
Hey, Tommy, what you gonna do, man? Hey, Tommy said, "Don't get me involved in this."
Right, right. He said, "Hey, I."
Right, right.
Right.
He keeps saying, "Cause maybe I have a better evening." She been on your ass.
No, I ain't know nobody behind. I'm just
It's all,
like, hey,
it's all gravy, baby.
Hey, I remember a couple times. There's a couple of folks I done ran up on who um, had a stereotype. They love Trump. They love everything about him, and they felt like everything he was doing was right, and they didn't even allow me to talk to them about what I felt, and I didn't necessarily feel safe to bring it up around my opinion because kind of like, excuse me, somebody, well, when in Rome, do as the Romans,
Right,
to where I'm just like, I'm gonna say nothing. But then it was a conversation I had with one man who he was in that whole conversation as a group, but then I had a talk with him maybe like 2 days later. We were talking, and he spoke about my little Black Lives Matter thing, and
right.
like all lives matter, and I had a talk with him, and now he's been to this. Matter of fact, he'll be at this restaurant Saturday.
Saturday.
He
What time?
lives up in north of Florida.
What time?
He said he'll be here around about 1.
Rally Saturday at 1,
No,
y'all.
no, shut up.
You
So
don't know? No,
no,
no, no. I'm saying I'm not saying that because I plan on attacking dude. I'm talking about because at
no,
least
but
I know
listen
we'll
to
have
me.
one
No,
diverse individual
no,
in the house. You
it's
know
a
what I'm saying?
group. It's a group of riders, and
Oh,
but I want to
awesome.
say, what this guy, what he represent. He represented of not liking the term Black Lives Matter and said something about it was Antifa, and he was like, yeah, and I don't like that, and all lives matter. And I explained my motto of how Black Lives Matter was in terms of white houses and black houses and green houses to him. He did a meet and greet with me, and he says, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's not that they're saying only Black Lives Matter. That's not what it says. I said, it's if we got a row of houses of every color on the same strip and the black houses are on fire, guess what's going to happen to the white ones, the red ones, the blue ones, the yellow ones, if you don't pay attention to what's going on? And I said, and you can be a witness to what we're seeing on the news daily or weekly about how people are getting shot, how people are getting murdered. I said these things, or because nobody's doing anything. And so if these houses are on fire, we need to put it out. Otherwise, it's going to happen to you all as well. And he said, from that analogy, he had never thought about it before like that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, then he did some later research and he seen how it started. And he said, hey, yeah, but all this time. And I said, yeah, all this time they're giving you sound bites and you're trusting only the submission they're giving you. But it took me and him to have a conversation with each other individually that made him think something and know something and go out and research something different. And that's when I say your part is that part. However it is, if it's in a grocery store and you're in line saying hello to somebody versus having a prejudgment about, oh, this cracker ass cracker, or this Negro nigga, whatever it is, because that's what blocks us is our prejudgments of what we think. We opened our mouth to see if what someone else thinks.
Okay.
And so I'm saying that's how we do it.
May I speak?
If you shut up cutting me off, you could have spoke as soon as I
I'm the
finished.
listener today.
God. But you were so busy at what you want to say,
Right.
you couldn't even tell me what I said last.
I just listened to what you were saying, sis. And it sounded exactly like what I was saying, but it came out of a woman's mouth in a softer tone. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it sounds like that at all. Can
You-
somebody else
listen,
say, do y'all think
what
we
did you
said the
just get
same
through
thing?
saying? You just saying you and this guy had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had a conversation.
But what
You
did
know
it
what I
take
mean?
for that to happen?
Okay, but here's
No,
what I'm
but
saying. You guys
what did
had a
that take?
conversation about the state of the world, right? You know what I'm saying?
But John,
Now
you
you might have
missing
been
my
on your
point.
bike. You know
My
what I'm saying? You
point
might have been
was
on your
what I
bike,
had to do.
and you was talking to this guy in Delaware. I'm sitting here in Sanford. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to folks all around the world. Right now, you was talking one-on-one. I got one here. I got two here. Well, they gone now. So we one-on-one right now.
Be out there.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is what I'm saying.
But I'm
sis.
saying this is too.
You know,
I know this
you
is
said
what you're
pretty
saying.
much the same shit I said, but you just
I'm
put
saying
it
you're
in a
doing it the
softer,
easy way, brother.
more deliverable. You know what
You're
I'm saying?
not the point I made. You missing over
And I
it.
didn't attack anyone. I didn't say nothing about assuming that a person gonna do. I said if a person come to me full of hatred, talking that hate shit, I will not in no way, shape, or form reply in a kind voice or a kind tone. I'm gonna check your ass and I'm gonna put you in your place.
Did someone do that?
No,
Oh.
hypothetically.
We're talking hypothetically right now,
Right, all hypothetics.
But I'm also
But it
talking about
happens.
my
It happens
experience.
to
You know what I'm
people.
saying?
Of
I'm
course.
talking about my experience.
But we're talking.
You know what I'm
that's
saying? I'm
not
talking
what
about
he
my
used
growing
in terms
up,
of
and I'm talking about how
analogy.
I think today.
That's not what he used.
You know what I mean?
That's
I
something he's saying now.
refuse. I say I refuse to speak kindly to someone that's coming up to me attacking me. I didn't say shit about, okay, I'm gonna walk into this restaurant full of white folk.
Then you
and I'm
talking
gonna
about
say,
last
oh,
week?
these blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
John, that's not
but
what
you
we
just
was
said
talking
that
about.
I was assuming on folks. You just said I assume
I said we
that all
prejudge.
these folks
We
prejudge or something,
prejudge.
same shit. It's the same shit. Prejudge,
Okay,
assumption.
try to stop cursing.
Okay, I'm gonna
the
try to
restaurant.
stop cussing in the
All right.
rest. Oh, that's right.
Thank
You
you.
opened the public. My bag time's changed in 10 minutes.
You hyped up.
You
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
30
mean?
minutes ago.
But
Which
hey,
one? Green
hey,
tea?
hey, hey.
Did you drink some oolong?
No.
This
No
is what,
alcohol,
This is,
no smoke.
You think
This
that's
is
it?
John.
But dig this here, y'all. I'm gonna get that testimony you asked for at the beginning of the show. Since I said, let's
I don't
get
even want
Cindy
it.
out
No, I'm
here.
joking.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Cindy done made it. You know, here's why I've been so fired up since
You good.
Friday.
Right.
You know,
There you go.
all right.
Take a woman's touch.
I'm gonna take you back. So I take you back from the beginning and give y'all the abbreviated version. I know you got to get some things. People building up. We got customers. Hey, sis, how you doing today?
How are you, beautiful?
Lovely to see you. You know,
Good to see
awesome,
you.
awesome. Please forgive me.
No, you don't. He gonna do it again.
Yes,
If he
I will.
does it again, he's gonna get it.
But hey, check it out, y'all. I got a brother-in-law, his brother from another mother. Special cat. You know what I'm saying? Knows a lot of shit. Been through the services and this and that, Secret Service, you know, all that. You know what I mean? And he invited me for him to teach me what he knows. You know what I'm saying? This is like back in 03, 04. You know what I mean? At that time, I'm early 30s. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got no thought of death.
I ain't worried about it. But I said, all right, when I get ready, bro, I'll let you know. He said, no, you need to understand one thing. You don't choose Wing Chun. Wing Chun chose you. You know what I'm saying? And I kept that in my mind over the years. So, time went by. Here it is, '09. I'm like, you know what? I'm stagnant at the moment. My man out of North Carolina now. Let me give him a call. He said, come on, man. We're going to do this. So I'm out in Carolina, out there for about 3 weeks training. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up developing pneumonia, you know. And from that pneumonia, I started retaining fluid and I developed congestive heart failure, and it slowly deteriorated my left ventricle, So it finally ran its course. I was working. I'm a behavioral health specialist, and I was working one day, and some I ain't gonna even go into that cat. But anyway, some bullshit was in play. So I'm on my way to HR. You know what I'm saying to check it. But I was so upset, man. I just started throwing up and shit. Blah blah blah. But I'm by myself in the hallway. So I get to HR, and that lady tell me, she looked at me, she said, John, I don't give a damn what your complaint is. Take a seat in that wheelchair, and we on our way to the ER. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So from that point on, I ended up at this regular ass hospital. I didn't know. Beautiful people helped me out. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up, blah 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 blah. And I got this was right before Halloween in 19. You know what I mean? And so I took sick, and I always try to treat myself. So I treated myself to this new car. You know what I mean? But I ended up in the hospital from November to the end of February. But yeah, it was crazy. And I ended up getting this LVAD, which is a left ventricle assisted device. I'm mechanically inclined for the last 5 or so years. You know what I'm saying?
Manual versus automatic.
Right. you know, and so it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And when I got this LVAD, I was sitting up in the University of Chicago hospital. Like I said, I was in the hospital from November to February. So, that's the winter, Chicago winters, you know. And when you're sitting up in ICU, you got this big ass window. You know what I mean? You looking for some sunshine. Ain't no sunshine in Chicago from October to June, pretty much. You know what I mean? You might get a day or two out the month, but it's depressing when you not enjoying yourself. I never had a problem with home, but I developed this fear of getting sick. You know what I'm saying? Going out into that cold. So for that first winter after the LVAD, I stayed in the house, and that shit was depressing. You
In
know what I'm saying? It
Chicago,
was totally depressing.
gray skies.
Yeah, and I kept mentioning to my health team that hey, I got to relocate, blah 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 blah. So as soon as I was healthy enough to drive that damn car, May of 2020, I hit the road. You talking about a 2020 Equinox at that time, because my girl was driving it around me back and forth to doctor's visits. So it ended up getting a couple of thousand miles on it before I hit the road. But it only had maybe 3,000 miles on it. By the time I finished moving around in April of that was in 2020, April of 21, that car had about 40,000 miles on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm rolling. I'm like, man, if the Grim Reaper want me, he gonna have to catch my ass on the road. Because I'm moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ended up Arkansas, visiting some folks in Oklahoma because I used to live in Tulsa. You know, Arizona. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, man, it just triggered a terrible memory. When I was in California, my hey, I gotta say my son. You know, I might have said my stepson. Because the cat was only maybe 12, 13 years younger than me, but beautiful dude, beautiful soul, man. And he died. My daughter called me and said, and he died, blah 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 blah. So I had to cut that journey short, go back to Randy's funeral and whatnot. Forgive me, but I'm at that funeral. I I'm standing in the parking lot, doing what I do, blow my herb, trying to get my mental right. And his lady, and she walking up with his baby, his son about 5 years old now, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, I didn't come into this young man's life until he was maybe 18, 19. You know what I'm saying? Here he is about to be 40 now. You know, and when she was walking up, we hugged, and I gave my condolences and apologies. And little Juju was looking up at me, and and uh, and uh, and she asked Juju. She said, "Do you know who this is?" And he said, "Yeah, that's my daddy's daddy."
Mm.
I was blew me away. Every time I tell that story, it still blow me away to this day. The only way he could have got that was from his daddy. So I did my job. So like I say, when I came into their life, Kanice was only 12, but her brothers was like, I think T was 22, John was 20, Randy was 18. I'm 30. You know what I'm saying? I was a 30-year-old man that took on this responsibility. You know what I mean? And it was a beautiful sight. No regrets, because right now, I got damn near, I think I got another one coming. So I got over a dozen, grandbabies, baby. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, I ended up, the doctors wasn't really trying to hear what I say, so I felt. So I come down to Florida. I was in Florida. I ended up in Florida January with 21, which was a wonderful journey because I stopped through Birmingham. I got a nephew, little Rick, that's in Birmingham, and you know, we ended up at the casino, right? This casino had a special that said, whatever you lose on your first night here, we would comp you. Whatever you lost in that 30 days. I'm feeling good. I'm with my nephew. Ain't been around my nephew since we was kids. Look, Rick, probably about 8. No, he was born in 74, 7 years younger than me. So we at the casino. I'm splurging nephew. Boom, boom, boom. My dumb ass ended up losing down to $900.
How
You know what I'm
much?
saying? About $900.
Hey, when you know
But
they're
I
getting
wasn't
it back.
tripping exactly because I know it's coming back to me. So I went hard. You know what I'm saying? I left. I get down here, in Orlando, rapping with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? And I had to. I don't know if I was going back up to the. No, I didn't go back up to the show. I was going up to Atlanta to hang out with my man Terrence, and I got the call. Come back to the casino. I went back up there. You know what I mean? $8,800 jackpot.
What?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was in that bitch all night, man.
Oh,
I was so tired. You know what I'm saying? I go to the desk, see if they could comp me. This chick go tell me a room $300 something. I said, swear I'll be in the parking lot sleeping in my car. You done lost your rabbit ass mind. You know what I mean? But anyway, I come back down here. You know, out there. I'm trying not to go. Okay. But anyway, get off me, get off me. But
It's
but
hard, y'all. Hard out here
right.
for a pimp.
Man, so I come back to Florida. I'm hanging out with my brothers. February. I get sick in March. I ended up catching an infection. I was trying to exercise and whatnot. And I ended up catching an infection. I ended up in the hospital for the entire month of March down here. After they had to cut me open, 30 staples in the belly and shit. They had to move the line, get the infection and whatnot. And I drove back home to Chicago in April. I maintained my apartment. I'm a girl Nita. She was there during this time while I'm out here traveling.
Okay.
And it's April, so it's safe to. So I think to get back to Chicago. They
Yeah.
got some sunshine coming. Motherfucker didn't get the sun to the middle of June. I'm like, man. So I'm steady telling. I know. I said it again.
Yeah.
But my bad.
my
Yeah,
mother
pinch me. Hey, I like that.
Right.
Like
Right. We
that
ain't gonna
fool.
pinch you.
Hey, did y'all ever see that one thing with that fool? DC. What's that young brother name? He's kind of like Chris Tucker, but he's on that Wild and Out show.
Yeah, I know you're talking
Uh,
about. Yeah, I know you're talking about Wilding Out.
anyway,
I know.
yeah, no, not Nick Cannon. No,
What?
no, no.
That is the only one Wilding Out.
He's the host.
Yeah, he's the host, but I'm talking about that other skinny
He not
cat.
like Chris Tucker. DC Young Fly.
DC Young Fly. Right. Him and Monique they was doing a Family Feud thing. And he go to give her a hug. She told him, "Get off me, you freak." You know what I'm saying? I would stab you or something. And he said, "I like that." that cat is funny
He
as
had to
hell.
take us all the way over there, y'all.
Okay,
Take
that's
us
it.
away.
Because I just came to I gotta get what's in my mind out. But
No, you don't.
anyway, anyway, okay. I get back to the shop. Nothing going on. Blah blah blah. Okay. Now come around fall. It is fall 22. I'm sitting there like, damn, how I'm gonna get my escape up out of here? Man, my niece, she called me the week of Thanksgiving. Said, Uncle John, I'm finna move to Houston. Do you want to come take over my lease? This was, I think, Monday. I said, baby, I'll be
Where
there
that's at
Wednesday.
in Florida?
Yeah, she was down there, and then Altamont Springs, right there. Off
Okay.
you know, so I tell y'all I used to live before I moved out here. In those apartment house, what was that, Waymore? Right there off of
Okay, one more.
436. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
How many bedrooms was it?
it was two
Okay.
and two. So you know, I
They
come
went up.
big. I know it was 17 something at the time. You know,
Okay.
this is 22, and that's why I'm like, damn, shit changed. Because if I was down here at 21, I could have got the same shit for half the price. Well,
Same
okay, I
stuff.
could have got the same stuff for half the price. But anyway,
That was a little curse. So he just.
After the third time, I tapped. I was thinking it was shit 3 times.
Stop interrupting.
I'm You said shit
Oh,
3 times,
shit.
one sentence.
Okay, my bad.
I'm trying to help you.
Poop, 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 poop.
Right,
But-
sugar honey iced tea.
right. But big though.
Intervention, y'all. This is.
Yeah. So I get down here, you know, November, blah blah blah. My next doctor's appointment is in Chicago. I think February. Yeah, February. Now here it is, February 23. You know, I'm like, I told Slim, I said, hey, I'm about to shut this down. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got that apartment down there, so jig is up. You got to come to Florida, or I'm rolling solo. You know what I mean? Yeah, I am solo. Cool. And so I ended up bringing my brother Charlie back down, Charlie Chu. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, you ain't doing shit here, man. I got 2 bedrooms. Let's, come on, make your life like that. Make it mine. And here we are. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So anyway, I spent the next 2 years really without a care team for my heart and LVAD. I'm taking care of myself. Apparently, that was some remarkable shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. And I finally got a hold. I said it again. I saw you looking at me. Yeah.
You're going to turn them into a priest, y'all. I don't know if they
Anyway,
curse or not.
I have a question
yeah, they
when you're
do.
done talking.
Yeah, they do. They cuss more than anybody. But
Not you.
You ain't never seen that cussing pastor? They
Nope.
used to show it on Facebook. But anyway, this cat, what was I at? Oh, 23. And me and Charlie back down. Everything cool. I'm stopping. Avid Health, they was overwhelmed with their heart department, LVAD department. They really couldn't take me on. You know what I'm saying? Even though they was well familiar with me because I spent the money in their hospital, they took great care of me. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find me an LVAD team. And I finally get a hold to Orlando Health. And Orlando Health, man, we started up in November. You know what I'm saying? I had to visit with the cardiologist. Didn't see her again for the next few months in February. I saw, great people at Orlando Health. And on my third visit, I mentioned to her, I said, I really come down here to get this transplant, try to get a transplant. You know what I mean? That was like Wednesday or some crap. I talked with her. And she said, well, I used to work for Mayo, blah, blah, this, and that, Of course we're going to get you going. By that, 2 days later, you know what I'm saying? They tell me, okay, we got you with this, and that. You got to get your insurance transferred over this, and that. You know what I mean? She put me in touch with Mayo a couple of weeks ago. I interviewed Monday. I went down there. We ran x-rays, blood work. They said, okay, John, once you get your system clean, it'd be about 2-3 months. Then we can start moving forward, you know what I'm saying, with your prep and whatnot, if you do what you got to do. And I told him, brother, it's already being done. You know what I'm saying? So apparently these folks, you know what I'm saying, they see the sincerity, they see the honesty, they saw the integrity in my words because I didn't lie about anything. They told me 2 or 3 months. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Man, I get a call the next day, Tuesday. They say, John, your first visit June 9th.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? June 9th. I'm like, awesome.
That's
So,
God's favor.
right,
That's right.
right, right,
That's right.
right. So, but I got to get oral clearance, you know what I mean? So I go to this
Oral
damn
clearance?
doctor's, yeah, I make sure ain't no
You go to the
sores or
doctor.
no
Okay.
motherfucking cavities.
You
But
go to the
I'm
doctor.
sorry, yeah, I went to the dentist.
So
I was like, I tried to stop you. He had to have
that
cavity.
is great news.
Yeah, awesome news. But there you go. They do the x-rays and whatnot. Please help me not cuss because this is some cussing situation. I You know what I'm saying? They did the x-rays, everything, let me know what they was gonna do. He presented 2 pages to me. One had like a 16, 13, 14, I think it was 14,000 or something, because they want to go do all this cosmetic crap. You know what I'm
Oh, okay,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
So I'm thinking that, this is what is gonna be required. But he give me another sheet for about 1,400, talking about this is the deep cleaning, blah, 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 which is actually all I need as of now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'm thinking that he put this out in front of me. I'm gonna have to sign off on $17,000 worth of work. You know what I'm saying? So I called my homie here, Shantell. I'm like, hey, do you know a dentist? Because these folks, man, you know what I'm saying? And they said that the insurance covered 1,000. I'm like, so, but this is my bill? I said, what the hell I got insurance for? I said, if I could pay you 17,000, I could pay you 18,000.
That's for me.
No, this is supposed to be for all the work that they see that I need, you know what I mean, and all that. I didn't know my mouth was that regularly, and here's the funny part.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the funny part. I had asked this, she's a young lady, about a mid-30s. I said, now you probably don't know about this commercial, because I started laughing to myself. And she said, what's so funny? I said, from the news you telling me, you made me think about this commercial when I was a kid. It was called Yuck Mouth. Y'all remember that commercial? They call me Yuck Mouth, but I don't brush because I like my teeth like Congo. You got to remember that commercial. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, check it out. Man, that's what anyway,
Smells wonderful.
Yeah, so they like, but
She
you
didn't
need
give you enough onions. Sorry.
So she was like, but you need a $200 down payment, blah blah blah. Once again, I called Cotton and Chantel, you know what I'm saying, see if they could help a brother out. They wasn't able to. Everybody can always help you out when you ask, but I'm blessed to be comfortable enough to ask them. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, brother didn't get no sleep last night thinking about this 200. You know what I mean? So,
woke up this morning though.
man, I sent out the SOS this morning, told about 100 folks in my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Mass text.
I'm so fine, y'all get so fine. So
we hitting you up the big one, Cindy.
Now, but dig though, it only took 5-10 minutes.
That's what I'm talking about.
I started getting a lot of people saying, "We gonna hit you Friday, I hit you Friday, hit you Friday, hit you Friday." Cool, but one of my homegirls, pop up in PCNP. She shot me the whole 2 notes. So I sent another text out, letting everybody know that I reached my goal. I'm cool. I didn't want people to still think they need to help me when that particular goal is rich. I mean, rich. Sound like one of my nieces. It's rich, but has been reached. You know what I'm saying? For what I need right now. I didn't want you. I want to keep my integrity intact. With everybody. So but by no means am I good because I got a long journey. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to spend 2 to 5 months in the Mayo Clinic, leading up to the transplant. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how long it takes for them to get that heart. You know what I mean? And
heart $1 million today?
2 million.
2 million.
2 million according to Sister Angie.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, man. I told her I'm gonna start calling her Angel. You know what I mean? Because,
that's what it is.
Yeah, because the sister, man, she giving me great advice. You know what I mean? And
just what you need.
Right. She came at the perfect time because it was like 3-4 months. 3-4 weeks ago I met this sister.
About
like that. It ain't been
2
long.
months ago.
Oh yeah, right. But I'm talking about I started conversing with her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
on my birthday.
Right.
My birthday time.
Right. So yeah, man, I'm blessed. I got this beautiful lady to my left, this alright lady to my right. You know what I'm saying?
His IQ.
I hate to admit it, but it's like she's the female version. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be insulting me. You know.
I have a
That's
question.
bullshit. Y'all wait till now. She's a lady, but don't forget she's a lady on a bike. So you know
What
what I'm
that mean?
saying. Hey man,
Listen,
that's just like
I
she.
beat boys. Yes, I
I ain't
beat
there.
boys
I ain't there. That's what
and
you know.
girls
Right.
in a
So are
friendly
you
competition way.
the end goal is to get a new home?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have a question.
Okay.
So they're gonna give you a heart, a new
Uh-huh.
heart. This is someone else's heart.
Yeah. That's the only way
You
it's
think?
gonna
Are you
happen.
worried that you're gonna change? Because they say sometimes when you give somebody else's heart,
You gonna get
Yeah.
a you
And see,
gonna
but
get
here's the thing,
a
though, man.
white man
I
racist heart.
I thought, hey, I welcome that. I ain't tripping, nigga, as long as I'm still here. Just like when I got
Look,
this
speaking of
pump.
Angela, she just sent
Right,
text
right.
me.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I got this pump, it changed really only two major things. Me going swimming and me chilling in a hot tub.
no, but
You know what I'm
that's
saying? But
not
other
enough
than that,
time.
it gave me life. You know what I mean? It gave me life, and I was prepared to live with this. Actually, when I talked to the doctor Monday, the cardiologist out there at the Mayo Clinic, he asked me why didn't they do the transplant, you know, 5 years ago. I said, Doc, tell you the truth, man, because I was scared and I refused it. They told me about this pump, and I was still able to keep my other heart. They said this pump could last so many decades. I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm alive. But now, man, I'm down here in Florida. You know how much stuff you can do without this pump. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Like
enjoy
I
some
want
of
to
that.
jump in the
Right? I want to
water.
jet ski. You know what I'm saying?
No,
All of that.
I'm asking if your personality is going to be different.
I'm getting
He
to that.
don't know.
I'm getting to that. Dig. No, I'm very
But
confident in that because I know what's in me. You know what I'm saying? I know the God in me. I know the love in me. You know what I'm saying? And I've been me a hell of a lot longer than I'm gonna be this heart. You know what I'm saying? I've been me for 57
But
years.
your heart ain't
And
gonna be
that's
in
my
you no more.
DNA. No, but my DNA is still in me.
You ain't along with
You know what I'm
somebody else's
saying?
DNA.
Yeah, but that's okay though. I'm much stronger than anybody's DNA that can come
we
into
got
me.
these videos to reference. So
Oh yeah, check
if
it
you
out.
turn into an asshole,
Oh, no. Well, it all
But
depends on who
John,
you ask. It all
come
depends on who you
back.
ask. There's a
depending
lot
on
of
what question
it's,
you ask, he can turn into an asshole.
but hey
And be like,
man,
it ain't off the list.
I heard this saying as a freshman in August of '82. This coach, a white cat, my man Rupo, coming to the locker room. Hey, young man, it's great to be alive. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I can honestly say, if not every day, then in 98% of the days of my life since then, I've made sure I say it every day, at least to somebody. You know what I'm saying? When I started counseling the children, you got these young teenage cats out of Chicago ghettos, out of suburban ghettos. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get treatment. You know what I mean? Trying to get themselves together, but they never smile. You know what I mean? So when I come on, you know what I mean. I challenge them.
You give
I
them
say,
that
I dare
smile.
you to yell this and not smile. You know what I'm saying? And they couldn't stand me. They couldn't stand me because man, we had a successful program out there. I ran into some great folks. I said to this day I got great bonds. You know what I'm saying? From that, you know what I'm saying? Because I started in corrections. You know what I mean? At the age of 20, and did that for a few years. Ended up at CTAs. Did that, but caught myself, y'all. I've improved.
No.
Did that BS for a little bit. Man, let me tell you how crazy I had to be. Chicago L's from O'Hare Airport to the south side of Chicago. Middle of the night, nothing but me and a German Shepherd.
Man's best friend, huh?
So they say I had to have a muzzle on him. So what he gonna do
He will
well, he
probably
was
want
that
if
to
I can't
bad.
muzzle
get that
on you.
muzzle off of him? You know what I'm saying?
He was bad.
No, no. I did that gig for probably about a year or so. Then my brother Jerry, he always been an entrepreneur of the two of us. Like I said, I was a kindergarten dropout, and we ended up in Mobile because of the 54 days of me and Jerry hustling as kids. You know what I'm saying? We had missed out of school, but anyway, Jerry was hustling taxis. He like, man, come on, drive one of my taxis. And man, that taxi money was cool. So I would
Hmm.
hustle taxis from '94 up until I got married in '99. When I got married in '99, I knew I had to insure my family. Even though my wife, she had it, but hey, I was raised, you got a family, take care of it. You know what I mean? So I had to get a job, and that's my buddy Dwayne at the time, he put me up on this mental health game, you know what I'm saying? And come to find out I was a natural at it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I got to telling all my peers and friends from childhood what I was doing, they're like, man, you've been doing that. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, all the advice you gave us throughout childhood and years and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing of it. You know, we talking. You know what I'm saying? But it's like crazy, and that and it's amazing in life that from that time, space go by, you don't see nobody, blah 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 blah. Then when you see people, they tell you, you know, and I'm like, hey, I didn't think it was anything special. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do, try to encourage folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Mental
yeah,
health
man.
is important.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I came down here to Florida because it was so depressing in Chicago. As far as the winters, I couldn't go another winter, and my niece was on time with that apartment. I didn't give a care if it was going to be 3,000. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I had so much savings. You know what I mean? And I stretched that savings up until about the August of last year. You know what I'm saying? Things got tight, but they didn't get unbearable. You know what I mean? But it didn't get unbearable. So I'm here, man. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? And man, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I was telling Shantell, I feel so rejuvenated. You know what I mean? I could probably roundhouse somebody right now. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't say hug nobody, y'all. I just want to show y'all his passion.
Right. Hey, if you say boots on the ground, I want to get back to getting my feet off the ground.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah.
yeah. But
Dika,
guys.
Dika, they got the people.
What's your favorite thing to do in Florida?
And y'all, we're getting ready to shut it down. It's a little past 7.
That's my favorite
And,
pastime right now.
Try to give a little. So that'll be our little abbreviated time. Hey, welcome, y'all. How are you?
Yeah. Cause we're running a little late on our.
We saying hey to all the folk. We on our little podcast. So y'all definitely have a good sit down.
Yeah, but hey, I got that story out in time.
Yep, you did. Down to 6:58.
6:58.
So June 9th begins
June
your.
9th I go in. I'll be in Jacksonville from June 9th to June 17th. I got the email through the portal. 25 appointments.
Okay.
I got 25 appointments.
So what advice can you give us? Like what? Because from when the issue started, like do you remember how you got it? Really? Like,
Yeah.
How can people avoid that?
Well, I don't know if you can avoid it because there's so much poison in our environment right now. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say I feel like I was poisoned. Because we out there working out. You know what I'm saying? We would get up and
let you keep there.
Check
this down. I'm gonna go.
We would get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, go out to the woods and start training. We called it waking up with the earth. You know what I mean? So of course during that time, everything is still you got the mill doing whatnot. You know what I mean? So I assumed that infection, that was the only place I could have got the infection from. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's the only place I'm out there doing certain things.
When you say waking up with the word, what is that like?
Pulling the chi about the earth, the energy about the earth, because the earth, as the sun rises, and the earth is waking up. You know what I mean? And if you're out there with nature and you're training in nature, you're waking up.
What were you guys doing? Running and stuff like that?
We was training martial arts.
Martial arts.
Right. And yeah, man. So that took place.
Was your face or something ever on the floor? Was it you remember touching things?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's just been something I inhaled while out there. You know what I mean? Something when I got back, I went back home because I think that was June. I was only in Carolina after I took sick. I gotta go where I feel comfortable healing that. You know what I mean? So I went back home. I had a couple of great friends. My one, she looked out for me real well. And I go to the doctor, go to the hospital up there. The doctor, he just knew. He looking at me. Oh, you had a heart attack. You did this, and that. I'm like, dude, I ain't had none of that, man. I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not that guy. Just because I'm a big dude, man, I've been athletic my entire little fat life. You know what I mean? So I finally okayed him to do the scope. You know how they take the scope down and they, take pictures and whatnot. I ain't got no clogged arteries, no vein issues, none of that. You know what I mean? So they ran tests from A to Z and back. They couldn't find out what was happening. You know what I'm saying? So the doc finally agreed with me. You inhale some type of pesticide that attached itself to your heart.
So
You know
tell
what
me
I'm
again,
saying?
what were your symptoms?
Congestive heart failure. I caught pneumonia. I caught pneumonia, and from
Okay.
that point on, I started retaining fluid.
So you couldn't breathe.
Right. So if I wasn't on these diuretics, my heart would drown. You know what I mean? So that's what congestive heart failure is. You have a severe fluid retention. You know what I'm saying?
Like
And
mucus.
it's drowning you, right? And it's drowning you, right? And yeah. So it's been a journey, man. But hey, I'm here. It's great to be alive. You know what I'm saying? And now the future is bright. I'm not surprised because, like I say, I know the God that's in me. I know the God that created me. And hey, man, it's I don't want to sound like I'm I'm boasting or anything, but man, I feel great for a person in my position. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I've never been one to toot my own horn. You know what I'm saying? That's just never been me.
I'm happy
You
you're
know?
happy.
Hey man, I'm ecstatic. It's crazy. It's crazy, So hey. So Shantell took off. She's over there handling her business, and that's a beautiful thing. But at this point, Cindy, something you want to talk about? We're gonna shut it down. What you want
I've
to do?
been working hard all day, y'all.
Yeah, tell me about your day before we go. I like that hat on you. It's
I
you.
like to do.
It's you.
You really giving it to me?
Yes, ma'am. I wouldn't
Can I
bullshit
pay
you.
you for it?
You already have. Don't worry about it. You have many times over. You giving me herbal tea. You giving me ginger extract to help keep me going. You know what I mean? And man, come on, that's love, baby. And hey, that's all it takes for me to give you a hat. For you to be cool with that, man.
But I have the other
I
one.
got a bunch of hats. I gave you a hat last. What was that? A couple of summers ago. Was it last summer? Yeah, you ain't worn it yet. You don't like the hat I gave.
No, I do. I
And
do.
it goes with your skin. That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah, but I gotta have on the right thing with it.
Right.
You know? Like this, I mean, this can go with anything.
Yeah. Josh, shut up. Anyway.
But, I'm happy that you're.
Yeah, it's
I ate
beautiful
that
thing.
salad. Let me tell y'all something. When you come to Shantell, I get catfish. Okay, so on the menu says jerk Caesar salad, but I asked for catfish.
Yeah. Sage, get out. That young lady gets
Oh
down.
my God.
Yeah.
Yes, I needed that.
I remember the first time I saw you with one, I had to get one. I'm like, whoa.
It's really good.
Yeah. Awesome.
Very enjoyable. But yeah, I didn't do anything. Well, no, what am I saying? I worked hard today. I did, yeah. So I do property management.
Right.
Excuse me. So I went and I did some tasks to get I have one vacancy, so
Right.
trying to get them in. And sometimes
Oh, you only
when
got
want
one vacancy? Well, you
yeah.
doing great.
Sometimes when you want something done though, you got to do it when you want it done right.
Right.
You said should I? Thank you, baby. Yes. And you do what you say. You do
Right.
it done the right way the first time.
Right.
So and clean gutters. Hey, listen, Floridians, it's time to clean your gutters. Those gutters were filthy. Well, I had a handyman do that.
Right.
But it was amazing how many leaves came out, and it was real like yucky.
Yeah.
And when he was pouring water in, it wasn't going nowhere.
Right.
So I
Just
helped a little
clogged.
bit. I was
Yeah.
up there doing that. I pulled it off, and
Got
I
your
was
hands
filthy.
dirty?
I was filthy at the end of the day. So, luckily, the apartment that I was taking care of did have a shower, and I
Right.
wore my clothes because I knew I was coming here.
Right. There you go.
And I ended up wetting my hair because it was just like I can't
Right.
take it. There's one thing with locks: if you don't keep it clean,
I know what you mean.
you'd be like, "Who's that? What's that smell? That doesn't smell like me."
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
never say I smelled you. It's bad.
No, because
So.
I keep it clean.
Right. Awesome. I try to keep my hair clean too, y'all. You know, I tried growing it, man, up until last week, y'all. I was looking like George Jefferson's younger brother or something, you know, because for some reason this top just wasn't growing. I was gonna give it a chance, but I looked in the mirror right here, it just wasn't nothing happening. And it's been like 2 months, you know what I mean?
Why you want to grow your hair?
I don't know. I just wanted,
Bald is
see if I
beautiful.
could grow it, I haven't had it since shit. I don't know when the last time I had hair. But
You're
yeah,
just fine, John.
thank you,
You're
love.
beautiful just the way you
You're even
are.
more gorgeous.
Aw. So she left us.
Yeah.
Mm.
She left us to close it out. You want to keep talking?
You know, I really, I like it so boring now,
Right.
but exciting to me.
Yeah. There you go. That's all that matters. You like it, we love it.
I do.
You know.
I do. And I love Florida. I do.
Right. Yeah, me
I
too,
grew up
man.
in
Me
Brooklyn.
too. One of the best moves I made in life is coming here.
Yeah.
And soon I have to consider it the greatest move I made in life. You know. But tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a day away.
Isn't it?
You know, and it's great. It's great, man. I'm so looking
Today is a
forward to my
gift.
tomorrows, man. No doubt. No doubt, y'all.
Live in the now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Live in the now.
All right. Hey, y'all, we're going to go ahead and sign off, man. And, we had a great time. I know I did. I'm sure Shantell did. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Hey, that's the beauty and that's the spirit of the show, man. We're going to come raw. We're going to come with us. You know what I mean? And, we're going to talk it out, work it out, and hopefully we help somebody out. You know what I mean? And as always, right, what you say?
I said I got to be the referee.
Hey, that's all right. Always, that's why we got three. You know? Three is a crowd, baby. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to sign off, y'all. And always, peace and love, and we'll holler. How do you shut these things down?
I have no idea.
I know, don't call her because she's going to be like, John, you got to learn. You got to learn.
She presses something over there.
Right. I'm looking.
The X.
Where the X at? X marks the spot.
Over there.
All
the way on there.
Over here?
Maybe.
Let's say caption. Let's see if we get it out the way. There
Go
we
to
go.
the three
Now
dots
we move.
over there.
What 3 dots?
Hover over the screen.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
up there. Nope, click 3 dots.
Remove, replace.
Hell, I
Oh,
can't
you.
help.
Hey, Shantell. Right.
At the top, right?
Oh, Cindy, how you not see that? In stream. Boy, I swear, man. I can't get no help around here. There we go. In stream.